What's going on, guys? Tyler here, and today we're talking about some steps that you need to take to get your site ready to be upgraded to Elementor 3.0. So stick around for the whole video. It's going to have some great content all about the steps you need to take to make this upgrade possible. Like I said, guys, my name is Tyler, and Elementor 3.0 is upon us. It is coming out this week, and so all these steps in this video will help you get ready and get prepared to upgrade to Elementor 3.0 and make that whole transition very smooth and easy. If you are interested at any time in upgrading to Elementor Pro, be sure and check out the links down below in the description. You can go ahead and get Elementor Pro at an amazing price, so check that link out, see how much you can get Elementor Pro for. And if you haven't already, smash that nice red looking subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. Helps me grow the fam nice and big, so please consider smashing that nice red looking subscribe button. Alright guys, with no further ado, let's jump into the video. Elementor 3.0 is going to have a large change as far as how colors and typography work. The main backbone and structure of what was in Elementor 2.0 is now going to be altered and shifted into this new global style settings. So let's go ahead and just jump in and show you how this all works. If you've been following along in my other videos, you know that we're going to be having global styles coming to Elementor, such as global typography and global colors. And to go ahead and get to those settings, you just simply go into the back end of your Elementor WordPress website, and you go over here and hit Menu when you're editing a page under Elementor, and hit Global Settings. From here, a new menu will pop up, and you can go to Colors and Typography, and here you can set up your global colors and your global typography. If you'd like more information about this and how this all works, be sure and check out my other videos. But for now, we're just going to talk about what are the steps you need to take now to be able to get ready to implement this global style settings into your website. Now, the first thing that I would do if I were you is actually go to your website, not in any kind of preview or in the dashboard or anything like that, but just visit your website and take a look at the different styles that you have on your website. As far as, let's start with typography. So here on my website, I can see I have this home written out. It's all capital letters. It's a little bit bigger font, and it is spread out. You can see the letter spacing, or the spacing between each letter, is a little bit bigger. So I'm going to want to keep track and kind of note down everything that is pertaining to this specific title. So I'm not actually going to be going through and doing this in this video, but I would recommend that you do it for your website and just go through and write down every little adjustment that you've made to any of these titles or different, subheadings or headings or text bodies or anything like that, any kind of adjustments that you've made. This will be important because we're going to implement this later into the global style settings. So for example, what I might write down here is, okay, I'm going to have, clearly it's black font. It's going to be a black colored font. It's going to be all capital letters. It's going to be, maybe a 1.4 times spacing of how spaced out the letters are. And if there's anything else, maybe it's, a thicker weight or something like that, or a thinner weight. Maybe it's a 300 weight right there. So now with all those settings in mind, I can go ahead and go through my website and see where else this font and all these settings apply to somewhere else. So here on my About page, again, the heading there. This YouTube actually takes me back to my YouTube channel, but maybe like those are pretty much the only two places I have that font. So right here, so I can notate down, so like my About page heading and my home page heading are going to be these type of settings. So as you can see, I'm just kind of going through all these different settings and finding, this is the railway font, this is the line height, this is the color, everything like that. And I'm kind of coming up with a list of how many different groups of styles I have in my website. So clearly you can see I have one here with the large title there. I have two here. This looks like a smaller subtitle, so this will be my third here. Maybe these right here, maybe this needs to be another one. It looks pretty similar to that, so it might be the same there. Like right here, here's another one, so it's orange here instead of the typical black that I've been running with, and then this one looks bolder, so there's another one. So you could say, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right there. So I have 5 different styles. We'll just go with those for right now. Okay, so now once we have our 5 styles basically, or however many styles you have, different styles you have on your website, we'll want to go ahead and put those into the global style settings. Now this is something you will have to do after you upgrade to Elementor 3.0, but up until you do upgrade, you'll want to have a list written out of how many different style settings you have and different colors that you're using and all that stuff. So we'll go ahead and once we've upgraded to Elementor 3.0, we'll just go ahead and input this data into Elementor 3.0. So what we're going to do is, let's first go to global typography here. We're going to go ahead and edit the primary headline. Now this is what I would refer to as this headline right here. So we're going to want to go ahead and set it to the settings that we have previously set up for the page. So we'll go ahead and choose our font family, our size, our weight, if it needs to be transformed to uppercase or lowercase or anything like that, the line height, letter spacing, all of that stuff. We can go ahead and set that up right in here. And then once we've set that up, we'll just simply go ahead and keep doing the same thing over and over again for a secondary headline, for the body text, for an accent text. And then once we've done all that, we'll actually want to add a style here. If you have more font styles than what is just there, which are the defaults, the primary, secondary, body text, accent text, we can go ahead and hit add style, name this one whatever you would like to name it, and remember that name because you'll actually call to that name a little bit later, and then go ahead and just hit edit and style it. So if you have like maybe 8 or 10 different styles, which might be a little chaotic in a website, but if you have like a ton of different styles, you can go ahead and design them all right here. And then what the nice thing about this is going to be is that once you have all this set up, you can simply go here and go over to, when you're building out a site, you can say, okay, I've got my main primary headline there. You can go ahead and edit that in the header. But here, once you're building out the website, okay, we need this right here, this title, we need it to be, let's see, jump back here. We need that typography to be a secondary headline. And there you go, just like that, it switches over to that secondary headline preset. So it's gonna help you design your website and also update your website so much easier. So if you, for whatever reason, you need to make changes to the style later on, if you don't like your secondary headline, or you want to change font on your whole website, all of that can be done from these global settings. So it will be super nice once you have that all set up. It might be a little bit of a process at first and seem kind of unnecessary too, because your website already looks how you want it, and then you're going to have to go through and kind of plug it all back into the global settings. It might seem kind of unnecessary, but it will help you in the long run. I can assure you that, especially if you plan on refreshing your website or updating your website anytime soon. So basically, I would go back in here and change the typography of the font for all the different settings, and that would update my entire website that easy. Alright, and step 2 would just be writing down the colors of fonts that you have. These are going to be actually easier than the typography. There's not as many settings. It's simply one setting, and that is what color would you like it to be. So for me, it's super basic. I have all my primary, secondary, and text are going to be set to black, and my accent is going to be set to orange. I do have an alternate of a white, but I really don't need that very much. It's very rare that I actually use that, other than maybe my header, and that's about it. So anyway, it's going to be very easy, and you should be able to get through this one very quickly. You may only need 2 or 3 colors. That might be like the max that you need for your site. That's going to be very easy. All you got to do now when you're going through and making edits to your pages, or creating new pages and styling new things or anything like that, all you got to do is simply go ahead and hit this edit button, go to style, and you're going to go to text color and just choose the text color that you want. And right here, it's already got all your presets loaded in. You can just simply click like that, and your settings are ready to go. And then you can go ahead with your typography and change it to whatever kind of settings you need for that actual typography. So again, guys, I would do this beforehand. That would really, really help you and allow you to be ready to go and ready to update or refresh or redesign, or completely change the style of your website in a matter of a few clicks. It would be so helpful. So I highly recommend that you do this. Go through, write down all the settings of your different fonts, write down the colors, plug it all into Elementor 3.0 in global settings, and make sure, once you've done that, you got to go back and make sure that all of these pieces of text on your actual site are set to the correct, not text color, but the correct typography here, and they're set to the right preset. That will just allow you to change things so much easier. So anyway, guys, if you like this video, be sure and drop a thumbs up, and if you're interested in upgrading to Elementor Pro at any time, be sure and check out the link down below in the description. See what kind of price you can get for it. I highly recommend it. It has been super awesome. Be sure and smash that nice red looking subscribe button. If you haven't already, join the family. I would really appreciate it. It allows me to make more videos just like this. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.